up, you guys? I hope y'all been doing good. Real quick, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe and hype this video. Once again, I don't know what that does, but I do know it's supposed to help. So do that for me. Okay, now that you've done that, y'all see what the title is? How to become a bartender. If y'all didn't know, I have actually been a bartender for like 2 years now. I actually started learning how to bartend when I was about 20 years old. In some states, you have to be 21 to serve alcohol. In other states, you have to be 18 to serve alcohol. And I think in other states, you might just have to work at whatever establishment. I don't know. But I work in a state where you do have to be 18 years old to serve alcohol, and you have to have a alcohol licensure. So I have actually been licensed to serve alcohol, and I've been serving alcohol since I was 18, and I've been bartending since I was 20. So I do have a lot of experience, I would say, especially in the restaurant industry. So if I was to start over today with no bartending experience and I wanted to jump right into being a bartender, this is what I would do. You don't have any experience, you want something fast, like fast money, or a flexible job, side hustle or main hustle. Also, if you're interested in nightlife and event bartending, I recently started my own mobile bartending business, and there was a lot of things that I just did not know, but here is where I started. I kind of just worked my way into it and moved up through job experience, but I did not, had I known that I could just start bartending with no experience at a young age, I really would have. Everyone else around me told me that I had to wait until I was 21 and that I also had to just simply get a job as a server and work my way up to into bartending. And then I would be able to probably move forward with bartending, or I need to go to bartending school, which costs usually like $1,000. Tropical Smoothie needs to sponsor me because they get all my money. So the first thing you need to do is decide which route you want to take. Contrary to some belief, there are different routes that bartenders go or that you want to go to become a bartender. The first one is restaurants. The second one is actual bars and nightlife. And the third is events. And I have experience with all three. If you're feeling a little lazy and you don't necessarily want to jump right into it, and at this very moment, you're just kind of looking for a side job, my first personal recommendation would be to you, if you don't work in a restaurant, go try to jump into a serving job. They're very entry level most of the time, and you're able to get in where you fit in, learn how a fast-paced environment goes, learning how to grasp to that adaptability, and also learning the way that bars work, because there is, like, depending on your environment, there is a general bar lingo, bar language, and movement in a culture. It's really an art. Mixology is really an art. Once you have decided your lane as far as an actual bar, a restaurant, or event bartending, you need to learn some basic drinks for sure. I would definitely say learn some basic drinks, you know, margarita, Manhattan, gin and tonic, bourbon and cola, stuff like that. Stuff that people will order anywhere. Cosmopolitan, just different drinks that you just hear all the time, because a lot of times these are off menu drinks. So if you bartend at events, you'll probably still have a request for some of these simple universal drinks. And if you also bartend in a restaurant, you will learn the signature cocktails that the restaurant or the bar actually offers. But there's always this universal mental menu that you kind of have stored up in your brain as a bartender, and you will remember this. A lot of people are like, I don't know how you remember. I don't know how you remember. You will remember, just like how you remember to get to and from your job, to and from the grocery store, to and from different places without using your GPS. That is how, to me, that's the best way that I could explain bartending, because after you refer to your recipe so many times and you start just all the repetition that comes with it, it will come like that. But if you are not a fast learner and you're not a person that has adaptability, you're not a person that can grasp to those certain things, maybe it isn't for you. But I think that everybody can do it because it's not very hard. Easiest way to learn all those basic drinks is to probably see what you could become familiar with especially if you want to go straight into bartending. YouTube University. When I was interested in bartending, probably at the ages of like, let me know if y'all want to drop a video with just drinks. 18 and 19, I did go YouTube a few things, just a little bit, probably less than I could have, but I did look at it a little bit. And when I started to seep deeper into it, that's when I started doing more research, and I found out so much was accessible to you. Because when you're in a restaurant, a lot of times they make being on bar seem like you can't do it, like it's unreachable, and that's just not the truth. After you decide your route and which route you want to go, and you familiarize yourself with a few different universal drinks and universal alcohol, I would also say learn your different types of alcohol. Get you some fake experience. If you like to drink at home, you like to have fun, you like to have get-togethers with your friends and stuff, buy a basic bar set off of Amazon. I will link the one that I purchased down below. Buy a basic bar set at home and start making your own drinks at home. When you make your stuff, you gotta use some juice and stuff. Familiarize yourself with the shaker. Familiarize yourself with all the different bar tools and things like that, because bartending is universal. There are small specific things that change with your environment. There are things that change with events. There are things that change with restaurants, and there are things that change with bars. But bar culture and bar knowledge is universally the same, just like that that universal menu. You practice at home, you make drinks for friends and family. I would say just do little parties, volunteer for small events, and you'll get it very quickly, and you will be really surprised, because bartending is repetition, not complexity, not competition. It's simply repetition. And lastly, and most importantly, I want to add that this is my personal opinion on what is the most important aspect of bartending, and it is personality. It is personality. It's personality, because when people buy bartending, or when people go to a bar, they're going for also personality. They're going to socialize. Nobody just wants to go, some people do, but most people don't just want to go sit at a bar and just drink and not talk and just be silent. That's not usually the case. When people go sit at the bar, they're probably going to chat with you. They're probably going to want to talk. And even if they don't, it's kind of your job to be that life of the party. Unless, of course, you're at an event and you're open bar and you're just there keeping the event flowing, you will still find that you are controlling the mood of what's going on. So things that I would say is, when you're going to work or you're going to be a bartender, dress up for work, look cute. The way that I'm dressed now is probably how I would go to work as a bartender, like maybe like some jeans or something. Keep simple, but also really cute. You're gonna be in people's face. You're gonna be talking. You're gonna be conversating. You cannot run away from it. If you are antisocial, you're introvert, you don't know how to have conversations, you don't talk, I'm telling you, this might not be the job for you. You might want to try bar backing, or just simply, I don't know. But you got to be social. You got to be ready. You got to be fun. Maybe not fun, but you just have to have that personality about yourself. And lastly, how to get a job. So how to get a job in bartending. Mobile bartending, honestly, it's a bit different as far as clientele goes, but overall, you do have to be social in order to network, in order to get you that clientele, and also make partners so you can become vendors for people. You can also network, and people can become your vendors as well, so that you all can work as a collective to curate special events for people. Now, if you're just applying to a job at a bar or a restaurant as a bartender, the first thing I would say, if you don't have any restaurants experience whatsoever, no bartending at all, and you're trying to go straight into a higher for bar, you might want to consider educating yourself and also going to bartending school. If you want to jet straight to that, that's fine. I would say that's the easiest way to get hired straight in as a bartender. They want to see some credentials. I'm not going to say lie on your resume. I'm not going to say that. But a lot of restaurants don't check. Make sure that you are familiarized enough and you know a few things that if they do hire you and you don't have a lot of experience, you're still able to adapt and catch on very quickly. That's important. Don't just apply online, because serving, bartending, things like that, those are personality hires, y'all. Hear me. They're personality hires. They're looking for something eccentric. And the way that I was explaining is, even if you're working at a restaurant or at a bar, you are practically an independent contractor, because they don't pay you very much an hour. You're usually just going to be working strictly off of tips, or you're going to be getting tips. So you are, in a weird way, you are your own boss. They kind of operate off of an 80-20 rule. They give you 80% of the time to make your money, and 20% of the time to clean up and, do side work and help around the restaurant, make sure your section is clean, different things like that. Also with bartending, you will have to stay and clean up the bar, set up the bar, all those different aspects. So I would say apply and show up in person. If you're trying to get hired at a bar, whatever bar you're trying to get hired at, dress up, look cute, be personable, go sit at the bar. Maybe order a drink, maybe order a water. Just talk to the bartender, conversate with them, then maybe speak with the manager, ask for the hiring manager, ask them if they're hiring, and tell them you already put in an application, tell them you want to put in an application. Usually it kind of goes from there, because a lot of times they want to see that personality, they want to see that sociability, they want to see all those different things, because you can be taught a skill. You can't necessarily be taught personality and being eccentric. That kind of comes with it. That has to be a part of you. Now, if you're doing events and you want to go straight into mobile bartending, if you attend YouTube University and learn your state's regulations and rules around alcohol, I prefer and I highly recommend dry hiring and doing dry hire services and getting an LLC. But if you do that, have any experience at all, if you're going into mobile bartending, that's what you want to do, you don't have to do anything but go to YouTube University and buy that bar kit that I'm linking down below, and you pretty much can get started. If y'all want me to do another video on branding, another video on marketing, another video on how I have gained my clientele, just let me know and I can definitely get that for you guys. But this is what I would do if I wanted to be a bartender and I did not know where to start. I hope this wasn't too all over the place for you guys. I know I'm still kind of learning the order, and I know y'all see me catching back up with the consistency, but let me know down below, even though you guys never comment, but it's okay because I'm gonna keep saying it, whatever. Yeah. Anyways, y'all, like, comment, and subscribe. I'll probably do a part 2 on this because I don't think I did good enough. But yeah, see y'all later. Bye-bye.